Hello and welcome to Los Angeles Education Partnership, also known as LAEP, podcast special. Today we are discussing a very important topic, early head start and investing in our city's next generation. We are here from LAEP. I am the Director of Marketing and Communication, and we have two special guests from LAEP as well. Our CEO, Dr. Dawn A. Kurtz, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, LaCora. My name is Dawn, and I am the CEO of LAEP. I've been with the organization for about 2.5 years now, in the role of CEO for about 18 months. I actually started my career as a researcher in psychology, developmental psychology. I have always had a passion for early childhood, starting with my mother's childcare, home childcare, all the way back when I was an adolescent. And that sort of sparked my interest in education in general and early childhood specifically. And the rest of my career has been in different aspects of child development and early childhood, be it the development of programs or the implementation and execution of programs. And really excited to have the opportunity to talk about Early Head Start in particular today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dawn. And Meyli, could you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Meyli. I have been with LAEP for 24 years. In October, that will be in October. I started as a student intern. I received services from LAEP when I was a student. So I have been with the organization and have received services from them. So I'm glad to be here and talk about what we do with the families that we serve and the communities that we're in.
And we've been in the community of Inglewood, Hawthorne, South LA for quite some time. So we're going to talk about who exactly is LAEP. For the listeners out there, you may not know who we are. So Dawn, could you let us know a little bit about our mission and the services and programs that we provide?
Absolutely. Well, we've been around for 40 years. We just celebrated our 40th anniversary last year, and we are excited to be kicking off the next 40. And we are an education equity organization. We're a nonprofit organization, and we are really focused on the entire educational spectrum. We start with the earliest point in life with our Early Head Start programs, and we go all the way up to college and career readiness, really focused on making sure that children have what they need and students have what they need to be successful, to build the foundation for long-term success, long-term educational success, and make sure that we're looking at the whole child. So we're not just going to provide services for children themselves, but we're going to focus on the entire family. We're going to focus on the teachers, the administrators, the communities that children live in, because we want them to be successful and we want them to have the tools regardless of where they come from and what their situation is. We want them to have the tools to be successful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, Meyli, there
Yes.
is a child care crisis right now.
Correct.
I know a lot of parents have been talking about what is the state of education, what's going to happen with the budget cuts. We've seen it in several headlines. And my question is, can you just paint a picture of the current educational landscape for our youngest learners? Like, what does it look like right now? And what are some of the biggest threats facing early Head Start programs and the families, that are benefiting? How exactly can the families here in Inglewood and Hawthorne take part of the solution? Or what can we do to take part of the solution?
Okay. So for the early childhood services that are happening right now, we're seeing that we don't have a lot of staff, right, that are going to be at those centers or are going to be providing those classes for the parents. So there is a crisis, and we do have a program within our own organization that's trying to solve that problem. We're trying to do a workforce, right, Dawn? Mm-hmm. And we're trying to have parents or anybody that's interested in early ed take classes, do a cohort, take classes. I don't know if Dawn wants to talk a little bit more about the Ready to Teach program that some of our parents that are in our program are taking advantage and are getting those units and are getting some hours in those early ed centers and are now going to be part of the workforce. So there is some sort of lack of staff, but we're trying to see if we could mend that with having the Ready to Teach program.
Yes.
And just to piggyback on that, we know that there's a lot happening at the federal level as well. And there have been threats to early Head Start funding. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster since the beginning, or a lot of bit of a roller coaster since the beginning of the year. And Head Start and early Head Start providers have really had to lobby and advocate for the funding to remain. And what we know is in LA County specifically, there is not enough spaces for the infants and toddlers who need care on a regular basis, even with that funding. So the estimates are that it's only about 10% of the children who are eligible are actually receiving services. And then if we think about what could potentially happen if that Head Start funding were to be impacted or go away or diminished, then, even less than 10%. And so it not only impacts the availability and access to those spaces, there's a trickle-down effect because then parents don't have the supports that they need in order to be able to go to their jobs. And, as I said, we're really focused on the whole family. And so we know that there's this trickle-down effect. We need for children to have access to spaces so that they get what they need for that early brain development. Parents also need those opportunities so that they can go to work and earn, the resources that they need to be able to take care of their families. So it really is a much bigger issue than people tend to think that it is.
And we've also, I just want to chime in because we're actually kind of wonderful. We're a little nice secret here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And one thing that we have done that I've noticed, because my background is in higher education, and I realized that the little ones, to our littlest, learners, that we, LAEP, we have services at no cost. We have
Correct.
a beautiful facility in the heart of Hawthorne that some people are not taking advantage of. And we want them to know that we exist. And if you are eligible, it's at no cost. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and the services that we provide. So actually, let's get to that question. Meyli, this is for you. So LAEP's Early Head Start program is making tangible differences. We just covered it just a little bit.
Yeah.
So can you tell us how this program provides critical solutions and how it helps close the equity gap that we just kind of touched on?
Yeah. Like Don just mentioned, with having parents needing to go to work, right, and provide for their families, we at the center, we try to bring quality services to these kids, not only provide the education, right, so they could be ready to when they're going to preschool, right, but we also give them comprehensive services where we also give them like nutrition workshops if they want to attend those. If the child has some developmental delays, we also refer them to the regional center that could provide those services for that child to get those therapies that they might need later on. And then we also have mental health services. If the family is needing some sort of support, we offer that as well. So we have all of these services that we provide to the family. So it's not only education for the child, it's like Don said, it's a support system for the family as well.
Yes. Don, you want to weigh in on that?
I would just add that, people often joke children don't come with a manual, right? There's no expectation that parents who have, especially their first child, know exactly what that child needs, right? Or know exactly how to identify some of the needs that Meyli just talked about. And so what we're able to do is take some of the most at-risk children and families and help them navigate through the earliest stages of development. We know, and, some folks don't realize that 80% of the brain is developed by the age of 3. So that first 3 years is really important. We need to make sure that during that critical period, families and children have access to the services that they need. But sometimes we don't know what we need, right? And so having the support, having someone else who can help you identify what's happening, how do children develop language? What do I need to be doing with them when they're infants? Do I need to be talking to them? Yes, you need to be talking to them early and often, right? That's how they develop language. And if we don't have that, then that's where gaps start to form. And so we want to get access as soon as possible for these families. And we want to be able to be providing them as many supports as possible so that when they get to preschool and then later to kindergarten, they already have all the tools that they need to be successful. They enter those classrooms ready. They know how to sit, how to attend, how to socialize with their peers. They know how to follow instructions and participate in classroom activities, right? And then their parents know how to access resources within their community. So if I think my child might need some additional services, where do I go? Who do I ask? If they need to see a doctor and I can't find one, how do I access those resources? So we really try and provide as comprehensive a service as possible so that families are building their own capacity and their confidence, right? As a parent to know, how do I advocate for my child? How do I advocate for my family? How do I make sure that my child gets access to all the same things that other children who might come from other neighborhoods are getting access to?
Yes. So I'm hearing that not only are we providing educational services for the little ones, but also for parents that may not know. If they say, well, you know what, this is my first child, it may be my second child or third, but I still don't really know. Can you help me, Meyli, advocate to the doctor what questions, at what age should my child be doing this, what I should be saying in the doctor's office? Can you connect me with other parents, that may be going through? Could you talk about some of the things that we offer?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, right, if a parent is needing some sort of services, whether if it's housing, if it's food, we do partner with other community agencies that are here in Inglewood and in Hawthorne and in South LA, and we refer them, right? We have like a contact in those places that we could refer the parent over to, and they get those services that they are in need of. So the other thing that we do is we're always there. We're like the support system. We do have a home-based program where we have home visitors or early educators that go to the home and build that relationship with the parent, right? Because I think that's the most important, giving them the tools and also being their cheerleader, right? That they could do this. They're not alone. We're there with you along this journey, and we're going to help you. Whatever is it that you need, we're going to be there to support you, right? Yeah. And give you the resources, the tools. We have to follow certain requirements, right? We have to bring in curriculum designed for the child, but we're really teaching the parents. It's more than parenting, I would say. We are giving them some advocacy, right? Yeah. Because we're giving them the power to be the advocate for these kids. And, if they have something to say, whether it's at the doctor's office, whether it's at the district later on, they're going to be the ones that are going to be there, with their kids, voicing out things that they might not like, or if they need more support, they're going to be there. So that's what I think we offer to the parents is a lot of support and empowerment.
Right. And you all have socialization.
And we have socialization.
Baby showers.
Correct. So we do more than just
diapers.
That. Yeah. So we could, like I said, we connect them to other organizations, but we also have events that we have in the community. We love to partner up with other agencies. So like you said, we do have baby showers where we are recruiting pregnant mommies. We also have a prenatal program. So it's not only from 0 to 3, we do pregnant as well. And we give them the development of the fetus. We talk about nutrition, how you're supposed to eat during the pregnancy. But we also keep track of your appointments because we want to make sure that you're going to those and that you're getting the proper care.
What I love most was the nutrition factor. You all had a celebrity chef come in to teach our parents, and that was in Inglewood at the Kurtz Curtis Tucker building.
Health, yeah.
And it was
Center.
so nice, the center, because these parents were like eating this fabulous food, all at no cost, and learning how to make food yummy and fun for their kids, but healthy.
Yes.
I loved it. That's who we are, people. LAEP.
He even got the little ones to try
He
something.
even got the little ones. And I said, oh my gosh, this is good. And I loved it because we primarily service African Americans and Latino families, right? And it was nice to see the parents come together and collaborate because one of his dishes was a sweet potato. He said, we're going to use the sweet potato. And a lot of the Latinas, they were like, a sweet potato. Never really cooked with that, but I'm interested. And they loved it. And so then he also had some other, it was just really good because we have the diverse and the collaboration of these families, and it's just beautiful. So, yeah. All right. Now, one question regarding just the most exciting things right now is currently enrollment. Okay, it's back to school time, and I hear that there's a beautiful billboard in the heart of Hawthorne off the 105 that says LAEP now enrolling.
Yes.
So could you let the parents out there that may say, this sounds wonderful, I want to learn more about LAEP. I have a friend, a family member, myself, I need services at no cost. How can they enroll?
Well, one thing is you can follow us at LAEP Community on Instagram.
Yes, yes.
The other thing is if you see our billboards, we do have one in Hawthorne, but we also have some billboards in the buses, Metro, right?
Metro buses, Imperial Crenshaw Plaza. We have a virtual billboard there. So as well as inside of the buses, okay?
Correct.
So if you see LAEP, that's who we are, LAEP.
And you could also find us at events.
Yes.
We're going to be at an event this
Hispanic
Saturday.
Heritage, right in the heart of Inglewood. We'll be out there meeting new families. We'll be at the Taste of Soul. We encourage you to find us, LAEP. Our colors are blue and green. All right. Come visit us. Say hello. You know, meet our CEO. Meet Meyli. She's our interim director of early education and family engagement. So make sure you all introduce yourselves, all right? Find us or give us a call.
Yes.
Do we know the number?
Yes.
213, what's the number?
213-622-5237.
Extension 223.
3, yes.
Yes.
Okay, that one I forgot.
Right. So please make sure you all contact us. All right, so that's,
Can I
go
say
ahead.
one more
Yes,
thing?
Dawn,
I just
please.
want to say, contact us, and if you have questions, ask questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Because sometimes people are like, Meyli mentioned that we have a home-based program.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes people are like, are you crazy?
Oh my gosh.
I don't
We
want
have to
you
talk
in my
about
home.
that. Thank you for mentioning that, Dawn.
Because, you know, it is very vulnerable to invite
Yes.
someone into your home. And so the team, you heard how long Meyli's been with the organization.
Yes.
There are many people on the team who have been with the organization for as long or almost as long as Meyli has,
Yes.
longer in some instances. They've been doing this a long time. They have a lot of experience. And most importantly, from my perspective, as with Meyli, they live in the community.
Yes.
So,
yes.
yes, it's a stranger. You do need to get to know them. You need to build that trust. But they understand who these families are, where they're coming from, what the
Right.
lived experience is. And so we recognize that it can be a barrier.
Yeah.
We recognize that it feels a little awkward sometimes, weird. What, you want to step over the threshold into my home.
Right.
We totally get it. But just, you know, call us, ask the questions, learn about who we are, what we do, and see if maybe it might be a fit.
Yeah, and I really think that we can benefit you. Some point we are diapers to diplomas from, you know, as Meyli said, pregnant mommies all the way up to career in education. That is what LAEP does. And the beautiful thing about LAEP, we're very diverse. 75% of our faculty and staff, I sound like an educator. I tell you guys I'm a former teacher, okay? But 75% of our members are actually connected and related and say that they feel like we look like the communities we serve. 75%. Most companies cannot say that. When you take a look at our leadership team, very diverse across the board. And I'm proud of that. I know some people are very curious. They're like, you want to come in my house for a home visit for early Head Start? Who are you again? What does your boss look like? What does the staff look like? That is important. So,
it's fair.
And it's
That's
fair. We cannot question you about that, but question us. Give us a call. Ask as many questions as you need.
Give us a chance to get to your
give
home.
us a chance. This is like at no cost if you're eligible, okay?
Yes.
So thank you for bringing that up. All right. Now, for our listeners who are inspired by this conversation and they want to get involved, we mentioned that they could contact us. You could also email us at info@laep.org. Again, that's info, INFO, at laep.org. I just have maybe one last question.
Yeah.
Because, yes, we want to connect with families. We want to enroll children for our programs. But there are also partnerships. We are known as Los Angeles Education Partnerships.
Yeah.
So the question is, for people that may know someone who may know someone who may know someone, is there a dream scenario of LAEP partnering with another organization or foundation? And what does that look like? That's for both of you. Anyone could take it and hop in. I mean, I would say Intuit, because the Intuit Dome here in Inglewood, they have been focused on Inglewood heavily.
Yes.
And they have an education department Intuit. Hi, how are you? So I would love, that would be my dream partnership,
Right. And I love that because of, again, when we talk about access, when we talk about visibility, at our core, the important thing to us is that children get what they need and they get it early. And in order to be able to do that, you need folks to understand how important this critical period of time is from birth through age 3, right? And so any large scale corporation or company that can help us spread that information and that message would be critical to not only us as an organization, but to all of the families that we serve.
Indeed.
For me, I would say maybe 2.
Okay.
We're already working with Hawthorne School District,
Yes.
but working with other ones, right? Like LAUSD, Inglewood. It could be maybe expand somewhere else, right? So there's always the possibility of that happening. And also any medical providers, because we do focus on health and education, nutrition, mental health services. And I know, there's Kaiser Permanente in this area. So, what is those services look like? And a lot of our families go to those clinics, go to those doctors. Right. So having maybe Kaiser look us up. I don't know.
Kaiser, I like that. Okay, maybe we could make that work. If we're out and about, maybe Taste the Soul, we'll run into someone at the table.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you all would like to share before we go? Anything else at the top of your mind?
No, like you said, we are currently enrolling kids into our home visit program. We might have a wait list for the center, but as kids exit our program at age 3, we have to replace them. So there's always a need to have kids in a waiting list.
Yes.
So, and like you mentioned, it is for free. So if you are somewhat curious to see what we offer, please contact us at 213-622-5237, extension 223.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Meyli. What about you?
And I would say spread the word, not only about our organization, that certainly is of importance to us, but also more generally about the importance of Head Start funding, early Head Start funding, the early childhood period itself. We need as many partners as possible to spread the word about how important this phase is in a child's development and the critical need for continued funding so that we can continue to provide these types of services.
And earlier we talked about how parents could also be part of the solution. Dawn just mentioned getting involved. Meyli mentioned earlier, make sure you follow us on Instagram, LAEP Community, because sometimes there are opportunities for parents to advocate and sign up to back our educational programs. We need backing a lot of these times. We do a lot, but we cannot do it alone. So we are here for the community, with the community, from diapers to diplomas, but we also need you to help us, all right? So we appreciate you all for tuning in, listening to Los Angeles Education Partnership, also known as LAEP, podcast special. I just want to give a shout out to KJLH and Stevie Wonder for the platform to have us discuss education and what we're doing for the Inglewood, Hawthorne, and South LA community. And I think we're out. Thank you all.
Thank you, LaCora.
Thank you. Oh, and visit our website, laep.org. Bye-bye.